Record on this. Why are you not going to our speakers up there? Disconnect.
What time is it?
It is time to call the meeting to order.
5.
I call the meeting to order. All right. Nobody has joined us by Zoom. I don't think. Participants. Oh, we got one. No, that's me. All right. So our agenda here. All I have is talk to Jason. I think he's doing a really great job. I love his enthusiasm for keeping up the place. We did a little talk about him getting us some numbers for ripping up all the lawns. And then we need to get Rocky Ridge to come in. Did you reach out to them?
I have not.
Okay, we need to get them to come in and give us a bid on rock.
So when was that? Like 2 or 3 days ago? I heard all this shoveling going.
Yeah, so he
He cleaned up
a bunch and then he was there the next day.
I don't know what your tenants are doing, but I know the poor guy doesn't have legs and he's a great person. He smokes, whatever, it is what it is, right? But their trash was just overflowing and they had pumpkins sitting out there just rotting. And then Pete comes into town with his fiance and she's like, what is that over there? And I go, well, the landscaper was just here a couple days ago and he said he would clean it up. So they got it cleaned up. It's fine.
It's not,
But
you can go knock on his door like Dan said and just say this has to be.
I know, he's really nice. We
Yeah,
should've
and
just said.
the city is cracking down on non-registered vehicles. They're fine if they're covered. But they're getting, yeah, they have to have a car cover over them. So they're gonna start towing them.
Heard that time and time, every one of
That's,
the meetings that I go to, there's people who have like antique cars and stuff like that, and some of the other neighbors don't. like it with them.
yeah, it doesn't matter.
Mhm.
No.
I told him to back it in before we, and it's not hurting anything.
Okay. So I forgot where I was. I get
Okay,
sidetracked.
so you're talking to Jason, he told me he was gonna turn the water on.
Okay, so one of the things he said was the best option, instead of just pulling all the sprinklers out, is just capping all the heads. So he's gonna get us numbers on what that looks like.
Okay.
Again, this isn't, we are moving forward with it, but we're just kind of gathering information at this point.
And that's what I figured is they, you can put a top on the top of the sprinkler, or you can just unscrew the sprinkler. You could put a small piece of pipe in it and cap it.
Just a cap. Yeah, that's what he was thinking about doing. If
And
we,
that would be the least expensive.
it would, we still have to pull the grass up. I guess, can we just cover that landscape fabric? Will that kill it?
I think it'll still kind of try to grow through. I think you want to kill it before you,
Can we just round up it or do we have to dig it up?
let's ask him for sure.
Okay. But I would like to continue moving forward with looking at. Cause $1,000 a month for water is just stupid. That's just for the landscaping. That's not including the use, the culinary use of the people within
I'm
the
taking
units.
the tub out and putting a shower in, and I know that brings the property value down, but it lowers the water that's being used, not to mention that.
Well,
things-
so does just changing the shower head.
Yeah,
Yeah,
one of those low flows. I drill a hole in mine. I hate low
If you
flows.
want grass in your backyard, then you just have to water yourself, basically.
Yeah, I mean, so the irrigation to the backyards would still be there. They pulled mine out when they put rock in my front yard.
Yeah, it's rock in my front yard, and I think it's fine with rock in the front yard, and people don't, I have rock in my front and back.
Yeah.
I'm good with it. In fact, it's easier, but I just, the homeowners need to know.
Well, we're gonna, so the other thing, when we get to water, that's under new business. There's some other things that we gotta talk about too. Financial report. Trying to think if there's anything else I had for the president's report, but I don't really think I do. We're looking good financially. We're looking a lot better than we were. Currently, right now, we've got $43,270. Again, 30,000 of that we put into CDs, or 20,000 of that we put into CDs. Yeah, we've made $500 since we did that. It's like
CDs are
530 or
pretty
so.
good.
Yeah, we got them on sale, so we got a 4.5%.
Yeah, that's
It
good.
was right around Christmas time and they were on sale.
Prepayment.
There's no penalty if we pull them out, other than future interest that we would lose, but
So if something came up that we needed them, we could.
what's that?
American First.
No, Mountain America.
Well, now. Okay.
Yeah.
That's good.
We had some good expenses this month. We had to pay the taxes. So we paid the accountant $1,000 for that. That saved us $500 over previous years. Jason hit us with another 1,000 something bucks, $1,290. But again, I mean, the snow has just been absolutely. Have you seen the
This kind of
video?
stuff, it has been paid time and time again over the past years. If this guy does the stuff that he's getting paid for, I don't have a problem.
Yeah,
with
I
it.
don't either.
It's what we were paying the last few years that I lived there. And I'm going, we're paying what? This place doesn't look good.
Yeah.
He said, give it a month. And I believe that
Well, he's
knows
already
how to take
started
care of that
mowing.
place. He'll do a
He's
great job.
coming in and gonna pull out that bush in front of Peach Yard.
Yeah, I
he's
know they
gonna-
asked him to do that, and
Yeah.
they're gonna pay him
To
come
do the
their
backyard.
And stuff too.
You can pull up a tree in my front yard. It's dead. It just goes.
That tree's nothing.
Yeah,
It's
so
a
that's the other
tree.
thing. So Pete wanted Jason to look at his backyard and he's going to pay him
Separately.
separately
Yeah,
to
because
go
the
back there.
backyard,
He
yeah.
does a great job. So if you wanted somebody to go to your backyard, you'd mention that.
This backyard looks- Oh, yeah, I do. There's not much back there.
It's a nice little yard. But
Yeah.
what it
Yeah,
is-
it is. It's in the front yard, but I don't care. It does- I
Probably
mean, it's
easier
fine.
with his wheelchair.
Probably, yeah.
You're probably right.
But I don't have a problem even putting rock back there. I have a guy that can do that. He can do it too. And I can even do
Even
it.
the grass back there?
There's grass back there.
Well, there is.
And he
Okay.
can't, I'm sure it's.
I don't know.
Yeah, that guy's not doing it.
He's not
And I'm
doing it.
pretty sure.
His daughter may be the, his daughter may.
They're not even taking the trash, and the trash is right there. Come on. They're not taking care of him.
Yeah.
That
well,
poor guy. I feel sorry for him.
Like I
Anyway, we'll help him get his trash to the trash can because the landscaper will help us do it. They're really good people. I've seen them helping this old man up the street, the other day, and it's the Myers. They're a couple up from you. And he can't walk too good. He's got a cane. And he was just limping his way up this. up the
Okay,
street.
getting back on topic.
That's how he
Um,
was with his trash.
we have made $7,000 from January to today. So our balance profit, $7,000 and $343. 7,363.40. There was another thing I wanted to go. We're caught up on everybody except for the one late fee for the Bowers. Ashley Tippett's let me know that there was no other way on the website to pay anything other than
This
the
is
hundred
new,
and
and
fifty.
she was contacting me and we didn't know what to do about it, so I think.
Well, I didn't know about it. So now there is a tool on there that's just called assessment and fees. You can put in your own amount. The only problem is then there's no way for the person paying to put in extra for the processing fee. So there was one thing I did for her and had parts of $52. She doesn't do checks, I guess, or doesn't do Venmo or doesn't do any of that. So I invoiced her through the HOA for $52 and her payment came out to $50.50. So there's $1.50 processing fee. And then I wrote myself a check for $52 to pay for the stuff I bought for her to fix her thing. So
And you did a great job, by the way.
I
That's
just-
good. It didn't take too long, hopefully, right?
no, I didn't charge her any labor at all. I just charged her for the parts that
Good job.
were needed to do that.
Thanks for
And
doing that.
And that was just, I let her know specifically that was not the HOA's responsibility. That was a neighbor helping a neighbor. That,
Okay.
so, but I had to run it through the HOA because that's the only way she could pay me back for the parts. So that's kind of where we are. We've got a couple prepayments. People are paying ahead. So I think that's good. We're finally all caught up. And I wish people, when they make deposits to the bank, would let me know. because I don't know unless I specifically go in and look. But Chase made a payment to the bank, and so he's been getting all these nasty grams that he's overdue. But he had made a payment to the bank, and I didn't go in there and credit him because I didn't go look
So
at
the
the bank.
bank isn't the same as online.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah,
There's
because
a
it goes
way
through
to-
GoDaddy.
A, what do you call it? Part, is it part? ACH system.
That's what it shows up as a payment, but he has a GoDaddy website, and if we want, and then we also have a different marketing system,
No.
not marketing, but kind of counting.
It comes as a check.
He sends it as a check.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so the checks come and it takes me 10 minutes to go through and mark all the invoices as paid and everything. And that's no big deal. I gotta run to the bank anyway, so. But when people make direct deposits into the checking account, unless I go specifically and look at the checking account, I don't know they've done that.
How did we get our bank account?
I just went in, I think it's on the website.
Yeah, we put it on there because
Yeah.
the reason why is because the accounting system says that we can set it up so that people can just make a deposit straight into our bank account,
Mhm.
but it had to be tied in to GoDaddy first, and I don't have access.
No, it doesn't have to be tied into GoDaddy. The problem
That's
is
what they said on the site. I don't
the
know.
accounting software that we use has a payment option built into it, but I can't get anybody there to help.
There's
I've
no
spent
one-
hours on the phone. I've tried, I
It's a
get
free app.
booted off.
So
I've-
it's all we have to
yeah.
do.
So that's why we use the GoDaddy. Okay, Vice President's report. You got anything? Nothing.
Nothing.
All right. Treasurer's report. Nothing. All right.
So,
New business. Or old business, sorry. So they're coming next week to tear down the wall at Unit 5. Or actually this week, sorry. It's coming sometime this week, probably Wednesday. How long it takes to get that fence built is gonna be a factor of how many days in a row we get nights that stay above freezing. Because right now, even though it's like 70 degrees today, it's dropping this to like 28 at night. So they don't want to pour the concrete footings for the fence when it's freezing at night.
It has to be above 60 is what I was told.
Yeah. Any update on the bid for the curbing?
So just the one I had said before that he will use the mixer.
Okay.
And he's happy to do that. You had mentioned that you were waiting for your guy to.
Yeah, so the guys who are gonna do the wall, they're also gonna look at the curb to see if, while they're having cement,
Mhm.
either mixing it or having it delivered, if it makes economic sense to do that all at once. So they're gonna get me numbers when they come out this week
And
to
if they don't wanna do the curb and they wanna. Get
split the
pipes
cement.
together,
Yeah, that'd be good too.
He said he would do $800 worth of concrete. Cause that's basically that's gonna cost him for a load.
What's he charging per square foot?
I don't have any of my.
Jennifer.
Well, my book for here is in my truck that's.
I have a
I
guy that,
dropped off.
I actually do some concrete stuff,
Yeah,
and he's pretty cheap. Actually make money on him.
That's
Yeah,
what
so
it
the
was.
issue that we ran into with this one was he was gonna have to pay more, like $1,200.
well, it was.
For a short load?
$800 for Short load.
So it was like,
basically, they charge him $800 worth of concrete, whether he gets it or not.
Yeah.
The labor bed was pretty inexpensive.
yeah, it was just that
It
short
was
fee.
the
And I was like,
short
no,
load.
that
How much concrete are we talking? Like,
a curb, like
oh, just
Little.
8 feet of curb.
When I asked him again, so I guess, he said it's only. Not even yard, I mean, it's a small amount.
small,
Yeah.
okay.
So
he
I
could-
was
he could
thinking we
put it
could go
in-
ready mix or go quick crete rather than ready mix. Just run a mixer for that little bit,
You can, yeah, there's companies that.
because that short load fee was just stupid.
Well, and honestly, my husband and I have looked at buying just one of those inexpensive ones and taking it up to the ranch. So
262 at Home Depot.
he could use that to do this project and then,
The other thing I've learned is if you rent a tool at Home Depot for 2 days, you might as well buy it.
Well, you can, in St. George, you can, there's a company in St. George that you can pull up your truck and they'll have a
trailer, quick crete.
quick, yeah, one of those things that
Yeah,
turns,
they have that here too.
and it's pretty cheap,
Is it?
it's pretty affordable. We, like, work for the awning company.
That's
we
what
dig-
I did
we
for
dig-
my backyard.
Yeah, we dig.
What kind of a trailer do you have to haul that though?
It's their trailer.
Oh,
So
you just rent their
it's
trailer?
It's
Yeah.
a mixer that
Oh.
you pull up and hook onto,
My
you,
truck.
you
can
say,
pull it.
hey, I want.
Yeah,
my
me too.
truck might be a little
My
bit,
truck can pull it. I can pull a little tiny trailer. It's all about the weight.
this is weight.
And I also have, I have the. tow
It would sink
package on
your,
there,
it
so-
would sink yours to the ground.
Your front wheels would come. I had a buddy who did that. He crashed his car, putting a trailer on it, lost his steering. Yeah.
But that's pretty inexpensive to do it that way. But anyway, I thought we were talking big, whenever you're talking big concrete projects, you know, like, it's pretty cheap.
Yeah, and I've got a guy who's actually given us a bid to put in some structural box culverts where we have those pipes that are breaking with steel grate over them. So if they break again, just pull the grate, fix the pipe, put the grate back. But he's another one waiting until, he wants to wait till June before he even looks at that.
Good idea, though.
Yeah, I think for what it costs to have those dug up and
Yeah.
and plus then we gotta patch the asphalt. But that's why we're trying to get that curb fixed, is we can't patch that upper part of asphalt until that curb is replaced where they cut it out. I don't know why they didn't just cut it, and lift it out.
So that's what I was getting at with our poor older people in the neighborhood. They can fall on that. when they're
Yeah.
walking, And
What
that's,
can we do? How can we get the city?
no,
do
this is an ankle.
I mean, dude,
You ever been to a Cedar City Council meeting?
Here's a prime example. I live in Coral Canyon and we didn't even need our roads redone. And they came in and did them. Thinking,
Yeah,
Yeah,
you've never been, so first of all, they don't redo the roads here, they just do tar and chip.
Anytime you have an HOA, you've now signed away. your
This is an
rights to
HOA.
maintenance From the.
Yeah, but here
Exactly.
in Cedar, the city
so
councils,
it's Coral Canyon's an
That's what
HOA.
I'm saying, Coral Canyon's an HOA.
Yeah, Coral
Yeah.
Canyon's an HOA. So
Wow.
this,
but that's not in Cedar City. In Cedar City, they're the ones that caused the damage to that wall that we have to replace. They changed the water meter and it leaked and it washed out the footings underneath.
No.
Nobody went after them for 5 years. It's no,
But
forget
then
it.
I think what happened, if I understand, is that there was a peach tree back there too. And then that sunk and the roots broke. I don't really know. I just know what other neighbors have said. And then you look at the CCNRs and the fact is we have probably the loosest CCNRs I've ever seen in 23 years of my experience, but for whatever that's worth. I'm just saying, some people say, oh, you're not supposed to plant trees like that in your backyard. It doesn't say things specifically in the CCNRs.
Do whatever you want in your
So
backyard.
anyway, the backyard is normally the homeowner's responsibility, but the wall is the HOA's responsibility.
Yeah, well, we accepted it, the HOA accepted an insurance payout on it, so it's now our problem. And it wasn't fixed for 5 years, so. We got our taxes filed going forward from this year because we got that 501(c)(4 status. All we have to do is fill out a postcard, an e-postcard. We won't have to pay an accountant anything, so that's nice. The IRS could still come after us for the past 7 years of revenue that we took in because we never did get a 501(c)(4). So hopefully they don't choose to do that, but that's taken care of.
Statute of, where we protect it after we go forward right now for the next 3 or 4 years, whatever, there's gotta be some sort of years in there that there's a forgiven clause or something.
Yeah, anything 7 years. Did you reach out to Roy Peterson and let him know that did you get a good email address for him?
I have a good email address for him.
Did you reach out to him and let him know that he's sending his check to the wrong place?
I did,
Okay,
but I don't think that he said he was gonna have his wife correct it. And that was
can
at the last meeting.
you email me his right email address so I can get it
Yes.
on the invoicing?
Yes, I will.
Okay. So new business. They're minutes, they're not notes. And the notes that went out were not the ones that I corrected and approved.
Okay.
So how do we fix that?
When you sent that to me, I tried to open it and it just gave me back the same thing that I had. And then in the email, you had said what you wanted to say in the email. So I just put all of that in the email, attached the minutes.
So you're saying that the email I sent you did not have the new updated attachment?
Right. It had the one I had sent you And so usually you'll have on there where it said, I send it in Word and then you can correct it. So it's editable. So when I opened it, I was like, okay, well, I guess we're sending this. And then you said, just say this in the email. So that's what I wrote
Take a look.
in there.
While you're looking for that,
Mhm.
do we want to start on the rock with all of it, or do we want to start eliminating areas?
I don't know, it's gonna depend on how much it costs to get the rock, but I mean, whatever we spend on rock and the landscaping. Whatever we end up doing to the lawn, it's gonna pay for itself in like 3 or 4 months, just with the water usage in the summer.
I think you should start with that patch the previous board was talking about that's above the trash can over by your house, because we don't really use that. I know there's people who have dogs, but we
Yeah.
have the park over there, and then there's the grass over there by the mailboxes. And on both sides. I don't know if somebody else is listening or pays attention to these meetings and they have a problem with that, they should come to the meeting and tell us, hey, I go out there every day with my dog and I like that grass, you know? But you gotta say something, otherwise people make decisions.
Grass, it kills the grass, so I think rock, that's why I have rocks in my
It
backyard.
saves us some water.
He likes to go on the rock, he'd rather go on the rocks. But but anyway, are we doing decorative rock or is it gonna look good? I mean.
Not gonna match, I think, because everything else in there doesn't match, you gotta.
Well, there's no unit that it's gonna match, but it'll match all the other rock that's in the common area.
The common area is all gonna match. is what
Yeah.
you're saying,
Yeah.
right? So is it gonna be like a, you know, is it gonna look,
My yard is probably about 4 years old. So the landscaper used to manage the place, as you had told us before, he told me he redid that yard. And so the rocks I have are the same ones that Dan has too. Erin, I think you guys have lived there longer, so you know who, I used to have grass.
Yeah,
in
none of the
yard.
rocks match inside the units.
that's fine.
How
That's
you-
that's not that. that's-
Just right before me.
that's what yours-
Okay, so when I moved in, it was like lava rock in the wood strip. And then they put more fabric just on top of that and put, like the red rock that's in front of mine right now. Well, not mine, but a lot of the others. And, so, you know, they've changed it a couple times, but then I just think over the years and stuff, when there's been a problem in the front yards or whatever, then whatever was selected was just put in there, but yeah,
That's fine.
I think, and especially in the common areas and stuff, you know, in that front, right up at 300.
No, I sent you the
Tammy has
February
already
minutes.
taken and put the wall in and then have some larger rock. And, you know, I think that doing something, we had discussed some drainage. So that any rainwater, whatever, doesn't keep coming down and going underneath the asphalt. If we put some drains and then bored a hole into the curb, yes,
Curb, yeah.
so that we can drain the water out there. So I think that we need to,
That's something we have to.
that
ask
would
the
be
city
something that
about.
Jason,
Man,
Yeah, he
I
could
guess
do
my
the
question
curves.
is a landscaper, he understands it, if we want it to look good. right?
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Just throw rocks out there.
So just give it a month, I bet you'll have it looking really good.
So the landscaper is only gonna do the lawn removal part and capping the sprinklers and drilling the curbs, and Rocky Ridge, who does our trash, would be doing the actual rock spreading and delivery. But yeah, unless Jason wants to spread the rock and Rocky Ridge just dumps it, and he can
Yeah,
spread
we
it.
can look at different options as far as that goes.
But I mentioned it to him and he was cool with whatever we decided to
You know,
do.
there's, I went by my unit today, come here, and there's, I gotta get on them to pick the weeds, I don't know. I'm not-
Well, he's put pre-emergent down. He did that 3 or 4 days ago.
He told me.
So
I
that'll-
asked him like a week ago, and he's like, yeah, we'll do that. Don't worry.
Yeah. So that will prevent new weeds coming up. It's not gonna do anything for the weeds that are
They're
there.
gonna come and pull all the weeds the next, they just mowed the lawns for the first time. They're just turning the water on, everything's just, we had dirty water for a couple days and I told you, one of the tenants.
Oh, it'll
here,
be
one of
back.
ours, It's like, his son lives in his unit down by you, kind of, and he was just worried. I
It'll be
think
back.
actually
It
really
happens
worried.
all summer long. It starts when they turn the sprinklers on in the cemetery.
He doesn't live here, so he just didn't know, and I
So
told him.
is the
yeah.
homeowner responsible for the front yards?
No,
So,
they are for the backyards, but not for the front.
okay, so on the weeds in the front yard, he'll come on and spray,
He
Yeah.
probably has already sprayed, but he'll.
pull them out. Okay.
They're already, yeah, they just started. I mean, when was the last snow we had? Oh, well, last night, but we had a hailstorm last night, yeah. But you know, so I think the last time they scraped the driveway was like a week and a half ago.
Wow.
It's been, yeah, the bill for snow removal was 250% of what we budgeted, just because, and up in Draper, they've got houses sliding
off
into
the hill.
canyons. One guy had a picture of a video in his garage, and it was the clearest water I've ever seen, but it was over his car.
Wow.
And I've never seen water that clear. It was all the snow runoff, and I'm afraid we might get that. All right, Daryl, talk to us about the insurance thing, because
So let me ask you, you live here, right? You live in the complex?
Mhm.
You have a general homeowner's insurance?
Mhm.
Okay, and you do too, right?
Yep.
You own your house?
Mhm.
You don't own yours yet,
I
right?
do,
All right.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, yeah, I have a
Well,
homeowner's insurance policy.
No,
you know, mortgage.
Do you have a mortgage?
I do have a mortgage.
I do have a mortgage.
Okay, it doesn't matter, I'm just asking the question,
Yeah,
because I don't have a mortgage, but
You're
I,
not required by your mortgage company to
Right.
carry certain
Yeah.
coverage.
so the HOA has a master policy. Which we have. They're traveling.
Yeah, and I totally forgot about that when we talked about it.
It's a master policy. So what do you pay for your insurance?
Well, mine's bundled with my auto and
So you're probably paying $30 a month,
it's a little bit more than that.
okay, and yours is probably too.
mine's in my mortgage payments, all figured.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So you should only need an HO6 policy. It's called an HO6 policy because the HOA has a master policy with a deductible, and right now
We have one separate policy on every building.
on every building. So it's Utah law, it's SB 167. I have a copy of it right here. I can send it over to Dan. But you have it. You're gonna need this. anyway.
Utah Homeowners Association law.
This is for any HOA that has a building attached to another building. It is an absolute law. That the HOA has to have a master plan. With a deductible, and then you can get a policy for the deductible, which is called an HO6 policy.
Yeah, so has anybody talked to our insurance people in the last month?
I thought you wanted to go with somebody specific, so.
Well, that's not the question I asked. Has anybody talked to our insurance people in the last month?
I did-
Not in the last month.
I did today, actually.
Yeah. Tell them what they told you.
They told me that the policy change, that it's gonna go from $5,000 deductible to a $25,000 deductible.
And none of us have done that.
And I said, that's good to know, because I'm only covering for my $5,000 deductible. So, anyway, everyone that owns a house. And you need to get with your insurance agent
Yeah, Seth Porter,
and get with him and ask him.
friend of
He should
mine,
know.
so no big
He
deal.
should know, he can pull it.
I text him and.
He can pull up the current policy, he can pull up the CCNRs. And he just, they should have already done this. I'm kind of surprised that these, I mean, they're just taking your money. But everyone should have an HO6 policy. I have other properties.
I might.
Every one of my property has an HOA like that, I have an HO6 policy.
Well,
That cover my deductible.
like everything, you have to remember this, okay? You have people who bought their house 20 years ago. And
Right.
so what was then is not now, and so if they don't update things, the way things, so I'm somewhat of a new homeowner, so I would guess that my stuff's updated, like, this is a new home, newer home. You bought it 2 or 3 years ago. And so you probably have updated policies, and maybe not everybody in there has a policy.
What I was talking to Dan earlier, so what I'm thinking here, and everyone that has to have insurance in their home. So when you.
They don't have to.
When you requested,
Only if you have a mortgage and you owe more than 25%,
Well, if you don't
I
have,
mean, so, yeah,
if you don't, like, okay, so you're, okay, technically you're right. If you don't have homeowners, if you own your house out right now,
mhm,
like I do here,
mhm.
if it burns down, I only have to come up
You
with
only-
five, I'll have to come up with $5,000.
Yeah,
The
but
HOA
the
has to.
HOA is only gonna cover, their policy is only gonna cover a portion of it.
No, it's gonna
They're covered
cover
paying. It's Utah
rebuild
law.
cost, yeah.
It's rebuild costs. It's
So
Utah law.
that's, no, when this got brought up at the last meeting, I think I told you, I said, I don't know, this is something that we need to look into. So I'm really glad that you came to the meeting tonight to bring that to us.
So
So thank you.
if I would advocate to go higher on the deductible and lower the premium, it will lower the premium.
So I'm looking at the CCNRs on the website. It goes from page 4 to 8.
The copy you had, I'm sorry about that.
So
That are 4 to 6. So I'm missing page 5.
you've got it
I-
now.
No,
we
it's not in
should
there.
go to a high- The HOA should go to a high.
No, not the page
deductible.
5 I'm looking for.
They should go to a high deductible. Everyone should get a policy. to
Yeah,
cover
I
the
just, I
deductible.
kind of have a problem with the insurance company just unilaterally making that decision for us.
Yeah.
I have a real problem with that.
Yeah, I would
So-
give them a call tomorrow.
Yeah,
Cause I called them today and said, I wasn't happy about it. Cause that means
This is-
If I didn't know that,
What are you looking
if I don't know that.
the bylaws,
and I didn't
Page
know that,
5.
And something happens where I gotta come up with 25.
it doesn't have that black
Right.
frame around it. It looks just like a Word document.
Because you thought you were only covering 5,000.
That's right,
Yeah,
you know.
And that's what his insurance is for.
I
So
don't
they
have
changed
insurance
that
with
prior to our renewal.
No, we're still on the 5,000.
So June 1st,
But it's renewing to a $25,000 deductible. I go. they
yeah,
just did
well,
that?
they're not renewing, period. We're going to a different company.
So that,
So-
so I just wanna, every homeowner in Eastgate should be aware. That they should go get an HO6 policy. It's a hell of a lot cheaper than what they're paying probably now. And. And then the HOA, and I think that they should change it to a 20. The reason why you wanna change it to a 25,000, because we're covered.
Right.
I'm gonna be covered on a 25,000.
What brings the premium
So-
down?
Yeah, but I don't know how many people within there can come up with $25,000.
well, but if you just.
No, you don't have to go 25,000.
You have your
You're-
insurance.
Oh, you're using that insurance policy to cover the deductible. Okay.
Deductible. All I have to
What's
do
the
is-
deductible on that insurance policy?
What's that?
What's the deductible on that insurance policy?
I have to, I can't remember. It's
Like $1,000 or something?
super low, yeah.
And really, it's like you said, what we'd end up paying is probably $30.
Yeah, so what Daryl was saying is we should take the average difference that people are gonna save by changing to that kind of policy and raise the monthly assessment that much to help us get to our financial goal faster. It doesn't hurt anybody because they were already paying that.
If it were me, I would. And you know, I don't like paying any more than I have to. I'm a very frugal guy.
Well, you have-
Nobody
you
wants
know,
to.
Nobody wants to pay more than they have to. Huh?
When you have more than one property, all those fees start to add up.
Right, I have.
So let me see if I'm understanding this right. So we go to the high deductible. Let's say we are paying $2,000 a month. We go to a high deductible, it goes down to $1,500 a month. I'm just,
No, we're paying 5,000. Remember, the HOA has a master plan.
Okay.
They have to.
We're paying around $7,000 a year.
We're paying $7,000 a year.
Yeah.
it's gonna go down if it goes to a high deductible.
No, so what he's saying is,
Yes, yes, the premium's, she told me today, she goes, I go, what's the premium? She goes, $6,000. So the
So it goes
premium
down.
with the 25,000 goes to 6, which I don't think that's great.
You know what?
Should be
I'll
all
tell you.
that's, well, but with the raising cost of everything.
That's right.
But the other side of it is, so what Daryl is saying, the other side of it is, let's say you're paying $50 a month for your policy right now, which is way more than you need to pay. You need a policy that you pay $25 a month for. So then we
Maybe less than
raise
that.
and we get everybody to
Like 10
switch
bucks.
over to that 25, just for
Yeah.
numbers, easy numbers. We get everybody to switch over to that $25 policy. We raise everybody's assessment monthly by 25, so we're 175. And it doesn't hurt anybody because they're already paying it,
I got you.
but it
Yes.
gets us to our HOA goals faster
Less than the
and we're paying less for the HOA.
HOA, our money is gonna be higher also.
Yeah, so I mean, that brings us
That's-
just crunching numbers.
That's
quick.
an opportunity for the HOA and doesn't hurt anyone.
You
Right.
wanted to make, at our last meeting, you made it, we voted that everybody would have to show a copy of
Proof of
their
insurance.
homeowner's insurance policy by like July 1st.
Yeah, we'll need to change that. Give me one sec.
Okay, That's what I'm
So,
getting at. We can't, I don't think we can actually like,
so that's an additional $600 a month.
$7,200 a year, that pays for your, that literally pays for
what
your insurance
happened was
policy.
the last.
It's 72, yeah, $7,200 a year.
Place, and she bought a new one with a whole different agent down in St. George, all because I said you better have a good insurance policy because she's trying to cause some problems.
Yeah, I was actually, when I got that email from you, I called my insurance company, that's what started it, I'm thinking, I'm thinking, why is this possible, how is it possible? And then my insurance agent said, no, it's not possible.
don't think
because
it's-
Utah law,
I
they
don't
have to
think
have a
it's-
master plan.
Well, HOA
Yeah.
are mandated for certain laws, and I'm not so sure that an HOA can actually, make it mandatory for all the homeowners to have homeowners insurance. But I don't know that much about insurance, so I'll just do some research and see what we can find out.
I think he's provided the information we need, and I had totally
I
forgotten.
know it's a fact, because I have other
Yeah,
property.
and I had totally forgotten,
In the
when we had that
same-
discussion, that we do have, every building has an insurance policy on it that we pay for.
That's what the $7,000 a year is.
Yeah,
It's a master
I had
plan.
totally forgot that when we were having that
Covers-
conversation, so.
You
So
You
what does
figure-
the master plan cover?
Replacement cost.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
pretty much that's it.
You're deductible, so let's say your house burns down tomorrow,
Okay.
okay? And
Don't
you,
say that.
okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Let's just say something happens.
Let's say Tom's house burns
Let's say-
down tomorrow.
Let's say my house. Say
That's
my
true.
house burns down tomorrow, okay? And my house burns down tomorrow. Currently, I only have to cover, right now, if I didn't even have insurance on it, okay? I gotta come up $5,000.
Okay.
If I have insurance on the $5,000, it's nothing,
And Pete's in the same boat,
yeah.
so they're made whole by the policy that we pay for, and I had totally forgotten that, so.
They have to, the insurance company knows this, they're the ones that sent it to me.
So,
So that
I think
means
it's actually what I have.
that like exactly
806?
what I said about his flat.
Something.
It's his.
Fine.
homeowner's
The
policy.
insurance company may already know this, yeah.
I
They want to come after us for it.
individual
I know
items
this
that I'm
one's
in my garage, like bicycles and,
We don't
increase
keep records,
what I wanted
Dan.
to have covered on the inside of my home.
There's no records.
I'll have to-
Beyond the plan.
Just check.
The problem is, so, okay, we got too many cross conversations going on. The problem with Pete's situation is he's got $1,000 deductible.
Okay,
They had $250 in damage.
yeah, see, that's not.
So,
There's no reason.
It's not worth going after an insurance claim. I went in there, I dried it out. Stacy said it was phenomenal. They took me to a great dinner
Oh,
and we're all great. So, yeah, they're happy.
Even if you go to a $25,000 deductible, which I would recommend we do. I'd rather have to come up with $25,000 than $150,000, let's say, right?
Sure.
Is that 25 grand total or per unit,
Per unit.
Per incident,
per incident?
yes.
So
So if there's an incident, the reason why I want to go ahead and deductible, that way I'm not going, do I just pay for this myself? Or do I want to run it through the,
Yeah.
We'll want to do what you just did with.
With Pete, good. Don't do the
Yeah.
insurance
Don't-
policy.
Try not to.
Okay.
Do a claim unless it's a house burning down or something, then you have to do that, but if it's minor stuff like this wall coming down, that's also made me think, well,
Well, the problem with that is we've already received our payment. It wasn't fixed. Now the cost is 3 times what it would have been 5 years ago because of the building. So we're on the hook for $7,000, which is
Well,
what it's gonna cost.
I think an email should go out to everyone. A revised email.
Let
Yeah.
it be a lesson that if you don't like what's going on, get involved and
Well, but
that's
they just-
what.
No, that's not the lesson. The lesson is we messed up and we need to fix it.
Can to super glue the problem that didn't get fixed years before we.
But
even got
the
involved, so.
email needs to read, go look at it, make sure your policy that you have on your home.
Covers the deductible,
Yes,
covers
Yeah.
the $20,000 deductible, which could change.
which could change next June or this June to
I would
25,000
say we should do that.
and then have an HEC
HO6.
HO6.
Larson, and then I got one from the Ludlows, which I think are right next to them. So those are the only 2 homeowners insurance policies I've received so far. Did you receive any? How about you? No? Okay.
I wasn't gonna send you.
Yeah,
No,
you don't need to.
I don't need to.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never sent.
I'll write up, I'll
right
write up something to go in the email that explains that.
Just need to fit, can I motion that we strike that last
Yes,
mandatory?
second it.
Thank you.
All in favor?
Okay.
Right.
Yes. So I'll write up a little description of what we discussed here and we'll include that in the email. All right, water, Daryl.
My water issue is what we've already talked about it, I just. So where the playground and that's all gonna be rocks now too,
No,
No,
that's gonna stay.
that'll be
grass?
the only part that stays
Okay.
grass.
I,
And there's the potential we could expand the rock that's there,
Yeah, that's. true.
depending on cost of rock and.
Okay,
I think, we've had some water leaks around the edges of it. And if we were to eliminate a little bit of the grass on both edges. And maybe, look into the cost of rock versus, watering.
Like
that
putting a
whole-
border around it or something?
Just where, I
So
think
there's
it might
still plenty
be fine the plumbing. I think that might be.
I did 4 HOAs, guys, just so you know, okay, so that's why I know about this April 6th thing. And one of them is in Oregon, so it has nothing to do with Utah. But all my HOAs, guys, every single one of them have gone up. Even Coral Canyon went up. They've gone up twice, actually. It's still pretty cheap,
Yeah,
but they've gone up twice.
What is Coral Canyon?
It's like $60
Yeah.
a month.
Yeah.
No.
yeah, but see, that's not,
There's
that's not much.
1,300 homes there.
No,
So it has.
And we have $1 million in reserve,
yeah,
so that, my point is either we're gonna have to start doing, I've said this every meeting, is 2 of them went up, see. I was paying $150 for they've gone up at least $25. They've all gone up at least 25.
Well, I don't think,
Spring tree's gone up twice, last year and this year.
I don't think we'd raise an assessment outside of the annual meeting. I don't see doing that.
Yeah, I think you're right about.
I
that.
think that's a conversation that all of the members
Yeah.
need to be,
Well, I'm not saying you do it, yeah, no, I agree with that. 100%.
it's not required. We could unilaterally do it right here, right now, but I just
Out of
don't.
respect for the homeowners that sometimes just don't, because the monthly meetings can be tedious. We have a lot of homeowners that don't even live here.
My point is
So-
everyone knows everything's going up, so, and no one has said boo about this.
Some things going up, it would be, is there more of an expense? So what our job is doing right now, we're trying to reduce our expenses so we don't have to raise our dues. The only way that I would see that we raise our dues is if we decided to go to the bank and get a loan to fix the pavement or something. That's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah, then we'd have to do a special assessment.
once we all look into an HO6, your insurance might go down $50, mine might go down $50,
Yeah.
and then if you only went up $25 on the difference of your insurance going down, then that's, you're already.
Yeah, you're screwed. Cause yours not gonna go down.
You don't have a big increase, so when you're going
Yeah.
across 25 people, $50 a month, there can be a lot done with that money, so.
Well, even 25.
It's-
then that was
Yeah, I was just throwing numbers out. We'd have to actually see what the numbers would be.
I think reasonable people would agree that, I mean, that's been $150 since I bought the place, and.
Yeah, but you've only owned it for 3 years. For the people that have been there for 14 and 15 years, it was $50 when they
Yeah,
moved
what-
in. It's up to 75. You even told me that. So
What's the
it's-
cost of that,
They
right?
better vote better next time, right?
seen
Yeah.
increases, but they haven't seen the maintenance occur.
Okay,
But maintenance is going up.
yeah,
So we have to
everything is.
offset- We have to offset the maintenance.
However, we're still in that $1,200 to $1,300 or $2,300 range
I
for,
know but we have
in
to
the
get
green.
We have to get the roads fixed.
I
That's
know
gonna
we
be-
do.
That's gonna be what, $100,000? The longer we wait,
60 is what they
the
told us.
the longer we wait. the
yeah,
more
it's
gonna
around
be.
65 is the,
To those roads, we gotta see what's underneath them before.
Oh,
we
dear
even get
God.
some streets. We gotta get, we're doing drainage. We started.
yeah,
that.
that's been the big problem. My guy came out and looked at it, my concrete guy, and he looked at it and he said, whoever did this didn't drain this right. You got water running under your asphalt. All right, so that's a topic for another day. One thing to keep in mind with watering is there are watering restrictions that started April 1st. And it is per city ordinance. You cannot use culinary water, which is what we're on, between the hours of 8 AM and 6 PM. And that continues through October 31st. So we need to make sure that we put that in our email that goes out to everybody if they're doing their backyards. It is enforced. On the first violation, they'll get a warning. On the second violation, the water supply will be shut off. And all our water supply is linked. And they will have a $25 reconnect fee. And on the third violation, the water supply will be shut off, a $25 reconnect fee and a $100 penalty.
So that's to go to every homeowner.
Yeah,
So those are city ordinances and,
it does apply to PUDs.
I know, so, but they also they break it up for neighborhoods, so is that for our?
No, because we're all on communal water.
I took pictures, after pictures, after pictures, after pictures last year. And sent them to Tom about, we were watering at 4.
I'll have Jason shut the lawn off.
Oh, we should lock the boxes if it gets to that point,
Yeah.
but literally, like, we were watering the asphalt and not the lawns, and it was
Oh,
at like
that's
4 o'clock in
because
the
they-
afternoon.
Yeah, but I sent all kinds of emails. That's why they find me on the fence and all that stuff. They got mad at me because I started asking, when are you guys gonna fix this stuff? You know, I'm a new homeowner and I wanna know what's going on and why things aren't being fixed, and these sprinkler heads are just spraying all over for a week. I have pictures.
Well,
and
Jason's
pictures are
fixed that
dated.
now, I believe. So he's going
Anyway.
around repairing those.
He will take care of this place. It's gonna be better this year.
So
Yep.
anyway. Finish me up. If there's an issue with my guy doing his thing, anyone you guys can call me, you
He's
have my
fine.
phone number.
Yeah.
And I'll get a hold of Linda and they'll take care of that.
Yeah, he's fine. The only thing I noticed was just the trash buildup was all, and so kind of feel bad for him, because I feel like his daughter's there and her granddaughter, and they live there, and he pays all the bills, and they can't take the trash over to the trash can.
Yes.
It's
Right.
5 feet away from his door.
While we're doing it, because they don't look, they're not nice. They don't smile, they don't say hi, that's okay.
Uh.
But if I come over and I don't wanna like upset anybody.
They're
by
nice to
taking
me.
Their trash and putting it.
I jumped
away
their
in the
car
trash
for 'em.
You know?
What? What'd you do?
I jumped their car for him when they had to move it out of the parking lot and put it in their driveway. So they're nice to me. Just tell me, I'll go over and deal with it. And we still got to replace your batteries in your camera. Probably get a solar panel for it.
Or I'll go over and tell them. I have no problem going and telling them.
Okay, I mean, if it was me and.
You've been notified.
Yeah.
However you solve it, you solve it. You've been notified.
Problem, we'll just say something to them. It's not that big of a deal. I just don't want.
Well, no, we don't. I have a real problem with us approaching other owners, renters.
Yep.
That's their responsibility and that's their relationship, and we don't need to be,
I just need to know about it.
yeah, we don't need to be sticking our nose into
But with
owners'
their
relationships with their
property,
renters.
I don't like.
This lease comes up
nobody
in
doing
October, so he might not stay.
it. He said that last time.
Huh?
He doesn't have anywhere else to go.
He doesn't.
Nobody wants to help him. with it.
Well,
can't
that's
find
a
any
good
place
unit
to
for
set it
him
in
because
for
it's all
stats.
one level. There's no
He's
stairs or
in a-
anything to
he's
go
in a
up, so.
place Right now, his wife just went into assisted living and he can't go somewhere with no stairs. That would be good. Just so he can get a bigger garage, so his granddaughter can work on a car for her.
I'll have to run and remodel the whole place.
It's gonna smell.
Yeah.
You
It's gonna
got,
be-
yeah,
it's gonna
no,
be a
we still have
nightmare.
some.
Already-
That's-
Already know I'm gonna have to.
Okay,
I got the carpet, everything. That's gonna be.
We are currently scheduled for the 24th of May, which is my birthday. Thank you. Does that work for everybody? No, the next meeting.
Not on your birthday?
I don't care. I don't care about birthdays.
Okay, so I probably won't be here the next meeting, but I just wanted to leave you guys to understand that, sure.
Thanks. for
Yeah,
the
no, I
information.
appreciate that. That's good to know. So we good on the 24th?
Yeah.
Okay,
Unless you. come up
I,
with a better offer.
nope.
And then just, as you get need concrete, guys. Let me know.
I hope we
So
don't
do you-
need,
In Cedar City or?
It's in
Is
St.
it
George,
George
and he's done jobs for me too, but it,
I hope we don't need that much. concrete.
I was thinking. If it would be cheaper to do asphalt, but it wouldn't. Concrete's more expensive
For a curb?
for everything.
Oh, you mean do cement for the entire, yeah, I actually looked at that,
Yeah, it's more expensive.
but it's way more expensive and it cracks more,
Yeah.
so,
Especially in the-
but it drains better.
Yeah, especially in this cold.
The trailer that we're talking about that's really heavy,
Oh.
they
yeah,
put the
for
concrete in it They put, if you had a whole yard, they
I
put
don't
the
think
whole yard. in.
Shane's got two.
Well,
trucks.
I'm just saying, I was told that you could.
I need a motion for the 24th.
I say yes.
Okay, all in favor? Okay, the 24th is the next meeting at 7 PM here. I need a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
All right, all in favor?
I.
We're adjourned. Thank you.
Guys,
Thanks for coming.
you bet.